I just go Brian, no O to my O, where you ain't gotta uphold it. And the best part of waking up is still the fold. You see, my situation, I was made for relations. No ships, no tripping, love, we ain't even got the patience. And I just tell you whatever just to get a sensation. I think you misinterpret the way that I worded late night text messages, they just ain't urgent. But my touch so soft, I qualify as a surgeon. You looking for the love, but that love's a burden. So my blunts are burning and your cheeks are turning. So keep on searching, it ain't me that you deserve.
You saying that you love me, but you don't.
Said you know I'll make it up to you. Said you know I'll make it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're live officially for VividLife TV with yours truly, Alex Auguste, right here on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. And TikTok? Yeah, and TikTok. Oh, snap, I forgot I'm live on TikTok as well. Oh, my goodness, I did not forget about y'all. That's crazy. Yo, it's hard to keep up with a lot of these channels at the same time with all of the different setups. And I actually had to redo my application to even have this multi-stream, multicast go to TikTok. So my bad, my apologies. I'm gonna make sure I get right and make sure that I monitor that as well, because y'all be hella active, and I want to make sure that I'm checking y'all out while I'm doing this. So give me a quick second while I do that. But listen, y'all, it is another beautiful Thursday night, and we're here live, and it's been a very interesting week, yo. Like a very, very interesting week in terms of just like the overall of like what has been going on, what has been happening, who's been going on, who's been happening, the whole nine. Like this week has been weird energy. And every time I think about how much weird energy is around us at one time, bro, you know, the astrology people always come up and they say something about like Mercury retrograde or this or that or whatever the case may be. There's always something, right? And it's definitely one of those cases now. Let me check this out real quick. It's definitely one of those cases where, like, again, there's something going on in the Astros. There's something going on around. But I hope everybody's well. And I definitely want to actually open this up with that, like checking in with y'all. Like, chime in on the chat. Let me know how y'all are doing. Let me know how y'all are feeling. Let me know how things have been going on y'all end. We are back with the landscape videos. I think I talked about this recently. Back with the landscape videos because I just personally like the landscape videos better. I understand that going live on vertical is great for the expansion and reach and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be great on YouTube and Twitch and all of that stuff. But honestly, nothing beats being able to chop these videos in a way that makes sense, straight from this format. So I really like it. I don't know about y'all. I see the TikTok folks are starting to hop in now. Like if you want to watch this in a different format, turn your phone. I've gotten so used to like going against the grain of everything that keeps being told at me about what should be done that I'm just like, there used to be a time, bro. Like there used to be a time when you went on Twitter on your phone and you turned the phone landscape to type on a wider keyboard. Like that used to be very common. That used to be a thing. Like that used to be a norm. You held your phone like this and you typed like this. So much so that like when they started introducing like the iPad and the iPhone, different iPhones, they were like, you could split the keyboard in case your thumbs were not comfortable being that close together. Like you could just comfortably hold it like this. All of this, like, it's weird how we've gone from like that world that was so comfortable with landscape, and we now live in this very much vertical world where everything is this. Everything is this. I actually do not enjoy watching YouTube like this, which is why I prefer watching YouTube at home on a TV. Like I prefer watching YouTube on the TV because I get to get all of the aspect ratio. But that's different. And we're going to talk about stuff like that, of just like different examples of how people go against the grain, different examples of how like we're told everything to do. And definitely going to talk about what's been going on with Instagram, because Instagram is a great example actually of this exact thing of like, yo, are y'all listening to us? I think the most common thing that you look at when you look at the new Instagram rollout, you look at threads where people are now posting their feedback. There's been a lot of conversation and discourse about what's going on with Instagram's new updates. But everybody keeps saying, like, who asked for this? Like, who asked for that? This new feature, like, who asked for that? And that's what I want to talk about, because that's a very interesting statement in 2025. And I think it goes even deeper for sure. But want to check in with y'all. How's everything going? How are y'all? If you're on the TikTok, tap in real quick with me. Let me know where you're tuned in from. Let me know how you're tuning in as well. Is your phone turned right now, or are you watching on a TV? I like when y'all watch VividLife TV on a TV. I actually really like that a lot. I like when y'all watch my YouTube channels on TV. I think that's the greatest form of like a compliment, is when someone is watching your YouTube videos on TV. And the reason why is kind of vain. No, it's not vain. I don't think it's vain. I think it's one, that means you're watching it and you're actually comfortable. Like you're comfortable, you're at home. You're one of the homebodies of the world who decided that an Alex Auguste video needed your time and attention. So that's one thing. And then two, you get to adjust like the video quality on YouTube, which I wish more platforms did. You get to adjust the video quality of how you're watching it. So if a video is shot in 4K, you can adjust the viewing on YouTube on the TV to be viewed in 4K, and so you see the video in all of its glory. And I think that's like the ideal scenario for anybody who has a YouTube channel. But yeah, if you're watching from the crib on a TV, definitely let me know. If you're on TikTok, chime in, tap in the chat. If you're on Twitch, what's up? I know we got followers and viewers across all of those platforms. But we're gonna get into it, right? Which is, first things first, is this crazy ass Instagram update. It's wild, yo. It's wild, right? So let's talk about that first real quick. I'm under the mindset, y'all, that like all of this was rigged. All of this was pre-planned. If you ask me what I think about innovation as a whole in this day and age, right? I'm going to tell you that I think we've probably met the cap of innovation. Like, I don't think there's any more innovation that can be done by innovation. You know, you think about just the overall of, like, I saw this video on TikTok about this guy talking about how, 10 years ago on a ride share, you would get a ride for $6, $4, right? 2016, I used to drive Uber. I would do it after work, which was crazy, insane. I would never do that again. But used to do it after work, and I would take people places, and the ride would be like $7, $9. Like, you get in a ride share now. I have struggled to find a ride under $12. Like, a 4-mile drive is $12, right? You look at Airbnb, right? 10 years ago, it was the wave, it was the move. Like, you were moving away from hotels and having to get all these service fees and having to wait until 3 o'clock to check in, and 11 o'clock a.m. was your checkout time. Like, you had that, and you could stay in a really nice home 10 years ago for, a week, and it would be $700, right? It would just be something just very, very different. Very, very different. Today, you stay in an Airbnb, you're washing dishes, you're changing the bed. Like, you suddenly became housekeeping, right? You stayed there, but you're also housekeeping. I recently saw, I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, someone who had a policy on their Airbnb that if you wore shoes in their house at all, in any capacity, if your shoes were not left at the door, he was charging you $1,000 off rent. And it's like, at what point do you just get out the game? Like, why is that you know what I mean? I might just innocently forget to take my shoes off when I'm walking in the house. I'm not gonna do that if I paid $1,000, but I'm also not gonna book that house. I'm not gonna book that stay, right? And then now you look at streaming. Like, when we cut the cord a couple years ago, it was to save money and have access to streaming, not even streaming, Netflix. Everybody cut the cord to have Netflix. And of course we had, the Cody situation. Everybody had their jailbroken Amazon Fire Sticks and stuff like that. It was a good time. It was a beautiful time. We were a proper country, right? But you had all of these things, and all of those things are no longer those things anymore. Like, they're more hassle than the environments they disrupted. Social media is kind of become that. And it's not just social media. Like, everything around us is not innovating anymore. Fashion ain't going nowhere. It's going backwards. I talked about football jerseys a couple weeks ago. Like, football jerseys. No team across all of American football is creating new jerseys. We're not. They're just calling back old jerseys. Now everything is a throwback. Now everything is, it's all styled the same way. Apple used to be one of the most innovative smartphone companies, technology companies there was, right? We had the Smart Bar a couple years ago. We have not seen it since. What is Apple doing? Sending gifts to Donald Trump. 24 carats. Just how you like it, daddy, right? That's what Apple's doing today in 2025, right? There's no innovation. There's no innovation. And so Instagram yesterday decides, and I don't know about y'all, but let me know what y'all think. Let me know how it happened for you. But Instagram just pushes this update. I didn't even see this shit come through. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I did not see any update come through at all. It was just straight up like, I'm using my Instagram. I'm on Instagram, and out of nowhere, out of nowhere, I just see the arrows, the two boxes, kind of the repost symbol, and I'm like, at first, truthfully, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was the new symbol for share, and I see that, and there we go, right? We got reposts on Instagram. I clicked it just to see what it was going to say. It said some nonsense about there being another feed now. I was on a reel. I saw that there's now a friends section. And then when I posted that to my my status, I don't even know what these features are anymore. I don't know what to call them. My note. When I posted that to my note, someone responded was like, yeah, and the maps too. I opened that up and Lord have mercy, y'all. Like I'm driving down Fowler Avenue and I see that my location is live, it's on, and I am visible to other people, which is insane, right? Just straight up insane for a number of different reasons. Number one, and this is where everybody's kind of getting wrapped up in like a lot of discourse where, you know, people are trying to make points and people are trying not to make points, right? My thing like this, I have my notifications off on Instagram. Instagram is always trying to push me and convince me and even trick me to turn them back on by way of reminders, by way of like, oh, someone called you, you know, which I don't understand why people call me on my DM. Don't call me in my DMs. Like if you have my phone number, call me on the phone and let me decline, right? There should be no one calling me in my DM. That is so weird, bro. That's so weird. And also, there should be no one setting up meetings in DMs. Like, that's stupid. Get you a Google Meet, like, whatever. All right. So, Instagram is always trying to push me to turn these notifications back on, and also all of these permissions. I have my location on Instagram for the sole reason of being able to say, like, hey, I'm in Santorini, which I've done recently. Hey, I'm in Santorini. I want to add the Santorini like bar onto a story. And if you're interested enough to see where Santorini is and open up a map, then you can click on that and you'll see Santorini. You'll see the businesses in Santorini and you'll see where you are in relation to Santorini. Everyone right now is talking about the fact that, like, well, you already were giving your location away. You're using, you know, snap maps and things like that. And you should, right? All this you should statements. You shouldn't be mad. Like you gave your whatever way, like blah, blah, blah. All of these, again, these you should statements. That is irrelevant to Instagram's latest feature because this latest feature, number one, was rolled out with no announcement. That's number one. Number two, this new Instagram feature took everyone's location sharing and turned it into a visual, while now we're not talking about like your relationship to the city or the place that the person posted their picture or thing about or at. This is now showing you precise location that Alex Auguste is driving down Fowler Avenue and he's crossing River Hills Drive. Like, that's too much. That's too much. I'm on this app now. I'm on the map and I'm looking and I see 3 people in Tampa who I could basically zoom in on. Y'all should have seen how fast, number one, I was driving. So there was really no hesitation. There was no like pause for me to be like, oh my God, let me understand this better. No. Like as soon as I saw it, I just immediately like screenshotted it and then took all the stuff off and was just like, this is absolutely a nah. Everyone is saying that it defaulted to being off. That's not the case for everyone. My shit was on. Mine was green. Mine was green, and not like close friends green. Mine was green in the sense of like you are live right now. Like your followers can see your location, which is crazy work, right? Crazy work. I'm really big. I'm really big on safety of social media. I've had previous places that I lived in get broken into before. I've lost everything I've ever worked on in terms of like someone somehow somewhere knowing something about me and that something being enough for them to identify when I was home, when I was not home. And I don't know if you guys have ever been in those situations, but law enforcement is pretty much useless, right? So somebody break into your shit, they grab all your shit, they grab $8,000 worth of shit. You are probably not going to ever see that shit ever again, right? That's me. That's a lived experience of mine, right? So I'm real big on like, bro, I don't need anybody. I don't need anybody to know where I'm at. I don't need anybody to know what is happening in the world of Alex Auguste when these cameras are not on. Like, really, really big on that, yo. You know, and just from a safety standpoint, when I'm with people and they're posting, if you're posting and we getting ready to walk out, that's absolutely fine. But like you're posting and we're still here, like don't be naive to how bizarre people are, bro. Like people are weird. People do weird stuff. I have had people, y'all, who I don't think of myself as having a stalker. I've had a stalker before. I've had somebody who was just, I don't know what their intentions were. And of course, it always starts off very innocent and very, sometimes it's sexual. Sometimes it's, oh my God, you so fine, blah, 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 your hair, da, da, da. Can I ask you your creative process, blah, blah, blah. It starts off with an N. And then before you know it, this person is like all over you from every angle. And you're like, hey, they're really closing in. Like that happened to me. I'm not talking about something that happened 10 years ago in like college days. College, it did happen in college. College, I probably would have been dumb enough to like fall for it, which I was. But like we're talking about 2 years ago, y'all. I'm talking about 2 years ago. I didn't say anything. I was keeping it very cool. But like I was being stalked. And it's crazy. I'll tell you guys the story just because it's story time. But for y'all that know, I hosted an event called Creatology in Tampa. And 2 years ago, they invited Dear Silas to be a honorary guest, kind of a creative guest, a speaker at this conference. Dear Silas, y'all probably know him. But I ain't stressing today. Right? Him. He's from I think Jackson, Mississippi. He's definitely from Mississippi. I don't know what city in Mississippi, but once I found out that he was coming, I was like, all right, cool. Let me really start like studying bro and kind of seeing who he is and understanding more about him other than this one song. Because I'm pretty sure if he's gotten to this level of popularity on social media, he's got more in the chamber than just I ain't stressing today, right? He does. He's a pretty dope lyricist and everything like that. And so I was on his live one time. And, you know, I'm on the live, I'm watching, I'm commenting. For anybody that knows me, they know that I hate Instagram Live, which is why I don't do this on Instagram Live. Instagram Live is pointless, right? We want to talk about new features. Instagram Live is where Instagram needs to pour more into because they're not doing shit with that. And it's a terrible platform. And so I'm on there kicking it and I commented and somebody like suddenly, you know, a couple minutes later, because sometimes when I'm on Instagram Live on my phone, I'm like, I can't engage with the rest of the platform. So sometimes I'll have it on my computer while I'm on my phone and I'll kind of just move around when I get curious about what's going on outside of this live. And so here goes. I get a friend request. I didn't think nothing of it. I look, the person live in Mississippi. Cool. And I'll fast forward a little bit further where one night I'm live. I'm live on Instagram Live. One of the few times in the last couple of years, right? Because I don't again. And so this person joins, they're talking, and I was doing like a Q&A, like jump on and do Q&A with me. And they jumped on. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but you know, it is what it is. So they jumped on the Instagram live with me, and for the first like for the first 25 seconds, they said nothing. Like there was nothing being said. It was just the person came on and they were just looking at me the whole time. And I'm like, yo, what's up? Like, thanks for hopping on. Yo, I know you've been following me for a little minute, but like, what's good? And you know, I work in sales. And in sales, you learn embrace the awkward silence. So I'm like, nothing being said. All right, cool. Well, and then finally I could see like her eyes were tearing up. It was weird, right? It was a little concerning, dog. But at the time I was like, all right, I'm live. Let me try to just like make the best of this. And if need be, like I'm gonna just hit the button and just drop them off. Nah, she was there and she's just sitting there. She clearly, right? She's sitting there and finally starts speaking and is trying to speak to me about motivational stuff. Oh my God, the way, you know, when what's for you is for you and blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. Ain't think nothing of it. You start fast forwarding a month, the interactions start coming up. I'm like, yo, who are you? You know what I mean? Like just casual stuff. Okay, thanks for the feedback. Like looked at the page. She had been to Tampa before, like lived in Tampa at some point. I'm like, oh, okay, word. That's what's up. Just keeping it very casual. Okay, cool. You know, I'm real big on social media. So I when people respond to my posts, I respond back, you know, things like that. And then it started to get kind of bizarre, right? It started to get kind of weird where my gym posts started becoming like sexualized. And this is actually why I started really cutting back on it and just trying to figure out like how can I post this thing that I enjoy without like this being weird, bro. Like, damn, don't get me wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, y'all. I like being a sexy, handsome dude. I wake up every day a handsome motherfucker. But like it got weird because it's just like, hey, that was so not, you know, I know when I'm being like, you know, yeah, I know when I'm being like sexy, you know, and I'm trying to, you know, trying to, whatever. It wasn't like that. It literally was not like that. And so it started to become kind of just off. Like, yo, you know, you saying stuff like, oh, you could lift that much. Like, can you lift me up? And da 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 da. Started kind of being like, oh man, it's a little weird, bro. Like that shit kind of it feel forced. Yeah, and that was another thing. So it was like it felt forced, you know what I mean? And then it got to a point where it's like if I posted, I knew this person would start coming in talking crazy. And then it started being like, hey, I know where you're at. Just off the strength of like, you know, hey, I've lived in Tampa before. I know where you're at. The person also lived in South Florida at some point, right? So it was just like, damn, like, bro, what you mean you know where I'm at? Like, oh yeah, I know where you at. Then it was like, hey, I want to come. Like, I want to come to Tampa. Like, no, I'm cool. I'm cool. Yeah, you know that shit going on over there. You know that'll be great for you and your kids to do. You know what I mean? Like, start trying to create boundaries, and then it started becoming threats. Y'all, it started becoming threats of like the person I was with at the time kind of being like, yo, like I beat her ass. Like that bitch did like just turned into aggression. And I was like, all right, I gotta block this person. Like, which again, like, you know, you're under the mindset that you're in control of something. Like, all right, this person doesn't live here. If you look at a lot of my content, a lot of times I'm chin up. Like you can see chin, shoulders, and up, right? So you can't see buildings behind me. You can't really see addresses. You can't really see who I'm with a lot of times. Like I'm very intentional about like trying my best to like mitigate the details of where I'm at, where I live, things like that. Cause you just don't know, bro. And this person was just, yeah, in my mind, I'm like, I'm in control. I have it. It's not, you know, at the end of the day, like there's nothing they can do. And then Instagram introduced the call feature in the DMs, and I was getting called. So, well, my whole point is with all of this that I'm saying is that like nobody is safe from the bizarreness of what happens in the minds of people on the internet. Go back to the Instagram rollout of this new feature, and it's like, bruh, I don't even think Instagram really knew to what extent the feature had rolled out, because the amount of people who are saying that it's an opt-in feature and the amount of people saying that they were already opted in, like myself, is vastly different. Like you have people who are like, oh no, y'all are overreacting. Y'all are overreacting. You have to opt in. And people are just like, bro, I've opted out, right? And I'm still being shown. So there are people saying, literally, I've opted out of this feature, and people are messaging them saying, yo, I can see where you're at. Turn it off. Adam Mosseri has spent almost all day today online. Literally all day today online, trying to mitigate the rollout of this feature. Forget the repost, bro. Forget the repost. Forget about the friends feed. Let's like, and this is why I just straight up said it, bro. Like, everyone kept asking, who asked for this? And my only answer was ICE. It had to be ICE. Because don't get me wrong, we don't get anything that we want anymore. Like we don't get anything anymore. But I know for sure nobody said, you know what would make Instagram really cool? If Instagram had a map, just like Snapchat. No, everybody who likes the Snapchat features just goes to Snapchat. So this wasn't about presenting a new feature in a way that's going to make it innovative. This was just about, number one, doing what others are already, well, not even that, just like we need to steamroll a new feature. And if you look around, just look around long enough, right? Read the news, look around long enough. The only reason why you would roll out a feature like this with almost no notification, no update, no explanation is ICE. It's ICE. And I think a lot of people are going to struggle with admitting that and understanding that and like really coming to terms with that. But like, bro, ICE. Bro, ICE. ICE. That's it. ICE. ICE. That's it, bro. Like, Snapchat is right over. You know how many people still use Snapchat? And I'm going to go back to the whole thing about the differences in features. Instagram has long done this thing where, and I don't know if it's just iOS versus Android, but I have an Android phone, so I can only speak for myself. I watched somebody once. I watched somebody trim their story before posting it. And I don't know about y'all, but like, I post, at the time, I was posting upwards of 360 to 400 story posts per month. Because I cannot trim my story posts, I have to actually create them as shorter videos. So let's say I create a video, whatever, it's a minute and 30 seconds long. I got to go into InShot and I got to chop it down to a minute. And I'm creating extra videos. All of my InShot, this is workflow stuff. So it's not really relevant to the platform. This is just how I choose to do it. But like every time I create an InShot video, it saves to the cloud. But I'm doing all these workarounds essentially because on Android, you cannot trim a video you're posting to the story. But I didn't know that. I would have never known that if I didn't watch somebody with an iPhone do it. And so the fact that there are two very separate experiences on Instagram, just based off of OS, God knows what the Samsung users got going on, because Samsung OS is a whole different OS. So that's a third OS you introduce. You get the OnePlus people who have a fourth OS, right? You got OnePlus, you got One OS, Samsung OS, Android OS, you got iOS. right? Those are 4 OSs. Instagram has always been iOS first. So what kind of experience do you think everybody else is getting? It is not universal, bro. It's not universal. And so when people say that, yo, my shit is on, or I had to opt out instead of opting in, like, you don't know what you're talking about when you tell them that's not true, because you probably have an iPhone. That is just the reality. Oh, well, maybe you should, maybe you should switch on over to iPhone. No, bruh, that's not the point. That's not even a true, that statement has nothing to do with anything, actually. And it just shows that a lot of people don't really know how to make a strong argument. So everybody has been asking this question of who asked for this. And my whole thing is, again, look around. Who asked for this? Nothing we've asked for has been delivered. Nothing. Who asked for this is just a reversal of I didn't vote for this. Like, it's literally the same thing. Like, you want pity? Like, bro, and I know that's a weird way to angle it because of the fact that, like, we all opt into using Instagram, but I kind of want everybody to realize that, like, there is no more to give. They're not going to give us any more. Which goes back to my point that I always make on all of these streams, is that what we're looking for and what we're starved of as a people, what we're starved of as a people is community. Like, I cannot emphasize that any more than I have already emphasized it, bro. What we are starved of right now, when you look at everything, you look at social media, everybody's crying about reach. TikTok, everyone's crying about reach. Instagram, everybody's crying about reach. Everybody's crying about views. Everybody's crying. Everybody's struggling. Everybody's freaking out. They closed TikTok down for 9 hours and people turned into straight crackheads, right? The dopamine that everybody is looking for on social media, right? There's a reason why people are not that big on YouTube. There's a reason why YouTube is not necessarily like a social media platform. It's because there's no response. Okay. You create on YouTube and you set it out into the world. And it really varies on when you're going to get a response and how you're going to get a response. Like, your video from 2 years ago can suddenly start blowing up. Your video from 2 years ago can be repurposed, all that kind of stuff. But, like, the instant gratification that people truly want from social media doesn't necessarily exist on YouTube in the way that they want it to, which is why a lot of people prefer to consume and say that they're creators and stay on platforms like TikTok and Instagram. Look at how many people right now, look at how many people on your Instagram have no posts. They have no posts, right? So to you, the social media experience is just you consuming. Why don't you post? The same reason Tyler, the creator, said people don't dance in the club, because someone's going to be recording me. The reason why people don't post is because they feel like it ain't going to go nowhere anyway, or it's not, oh, I don't want to show that aspect of my life. But the whole purpose of social media is for it to be a two-way street, right? It's for it to be a two-way street. Everybody is crying about views right now. Oh, well, I was getting 1,000 views on my story and I'm down to 300. First off, shit, it's a good life. Well, what did Mike Epps say in Next Friday? Damn, that sounds good. I want to see what that's about. 1,000 views down to 300. That's a 70% drop for sure. Absolutely. Now imagine us folks who have on the high end 230. Like, I'm looking at 30, 14, 20 views per day. But here's the thing. That doesn't bother me, because I am an active participant in two-way street communication on Instagram. I will be honest with y'all. If there's any feature that I use, on Instagram for real, I am DMing people. Like we're having DM conversations. They're sending me reels. They're sending me memes. Maybe I'm in like 1 or 2 little group chats. Nothing crazy. Maybe 2 or 3 of my homeboys here and there. I was in large group chats. Not my thing. That's not where I want community to live. Right. And I've been very vocal about that. I'm not joining 100-person group chats on Instagram because my Instagram notifications aren't on. And so it's like when you look at the overall layout of what people are complaining about, they're complaining about not having a deeper connection with people. You can't have a deeper connection with people when there's an algorithm. Like you can't do that. That's not what the algorithm's even for. The whole reason the algorithm was created was to shuffle all of this up so that they can be better at identifying trends in people and people behavior, so that it was helpful for ads. Which, if Adam Mosseri came forward, this is a sidebar. If Adam came forward and told us that the reason that they created the maps was that so businesses in a certain geographic area could push ads and sponsored posts to you while you're in that geographic area, I'm not gonna lie, he would have had a case. He would have had a pretty good case. He would have had a really good case. The whole situation would have had a really good case, to be honest with you. You're talking about going to another city. Let's say I go to Dallas, Texas. And when I go to Dallas, Texas, obviously I'm like, where's the happenings, right? If you're a good planner, you probably know the happenings before you get there. But let's say I get to Dallas, Texas, and I'm like, let's say I get to Dallas, Texas, and I think to myself that I want to find a good coffee shop, right? Assuming that my Instagram profile is reflective of my interest in coffee, which I don't think mine is, whatever. That's Instagram's fault. But assuming that my profile shows that I have an interest in coffee, it would have been cool if I could look on a map and then these coffee shops pop out, or their content from coffee shops starts to pop out at me. That would have made sense from a true ad standpoint that also invites the consumer to take part in it as well. Because Google Maps does that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm driving down the street, Dunkin' Donuts is going to pop up as a sponsored post. Foxtail is going to pop up as a sponsored post. All of these places are going to pop up on a sponsored post. There is no consumer first reason for anyone to want their location just out and about all willy-nilly like that. Y'all don't rock with us that much. Like, let's be real. Like Instagram as a platform does not rock with us enough to decide, like, you know what, man, we're going to do it for the people, dog. We're going to roll out a map so y'all can see where y'all friends are at. Whoa, that's not, stop lying. You capping. That's cap. I call cap. What's going on, Charlotte? That is definitely cap. Welcome to the stream. This is VividLife TV. Talking about Instagram's new rollout of the maps feature. There's no such thing, right? This is not Strava. And even Strava sometimes even I'm like, I'm very big. Yeah, man, that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want to open up that bag of worms. But when you look at all of these apps, you look at Instagram, again, people are complaining about their views. My views are down. What happened to the algorithm? Oh my God, it's not the same. Oh my God, they're giving us features. Nobody asked for that, right? They're not going to give you community on social media. Again, I said this last week, and I'm going to say it again. It's not even social media. It's not even so. They're not even calling it social media. You watch Gary Vee say it's interest media. They're not interested in you building community on fucking Instagram. Like, you cannot build a community on Instagram. And if you could, no one would have been complaining about the map, because they would have just been like, oh, look, gang over there. What up, twin? I'm gonna go. Hey, no one did that. Why did everyone immediately go to danger? Because Instagram is a dangerous place. And you can't build community in a dangerous place. Like safety and comfort can't live in the same house. So nigga, are you in danger or are you safe? Like that's literally like everything right there. Like, oh, they're giving us features. Nobody asked for that. Marvel ain't give you the movie you wanted. And what did you say? Damn, nobody asked for that. Marvel didn't give you the TV show you wanted. What did you say? Oh my God, Echo? Nobody asked for that. Apple didn't give you the features that you wanted in a brand new phone. What did you say? Damn, nobody asked for that. Should we keep going? The president didn't do the policy he told your dumbass he was going to do. What did you say? Nobody asked for that. Nobody asked for the president to incinerate millions of pounds of food that we all paid for that was supposed to go to some starving kids. Like nobody asked. So what makes you think that all of these people who keep giving you features that you didn't ask for, but you keep publicly complaining about, are ever going to do anything for you that points to the idea of community? Like, interest media is a tool. Can that tool build a community for you? Can that tool help you build a community? It can give you the visibility to do so. But the tools necessary to building a community are not going to be found on that tool. And I'm going to keep on talking about community. I'm going to keep on talking about community. If you asked me 3 years ago why I wanted to leave Tampa, 2 years ago, why I wanted to leave Tampa as bad as I wanted, 1.5 years ago, why I wanted to leave Tampa as badly as I wanted to leave Tampa, the number one reason that I would have cited to you was that this place, unfortunately, doesn't necessarily have a strong sense of community. I'm real big on that. People say it takes a village, and then they pretend like there's no village, right? People talk about, damn, I gotta check on a TikTok. People talk about like it takes a village, like I said, and then they don't create the village. They don't foster the village. People talk about wanting a sense of community, and then they don't foster the sense of community, right? People say that they want followers. They don't want followers because they want to connect with them. They just see followers as a number. They just see people following them as a commodity. And that's where we as people literally kind of fucked up the whole social media aspect. There's an echo? That's crazy. Hold on, y'all. Let me fix this. That's crazy. This ain't gonna sound good. What about now? I appreciate you for calling that out. What up, y'all? What up? Damn, I've been rapping so hard. I ain't even pay attention to like the damn, it's still there? I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. Let's try this real quick. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Is it better? Okay. You know what's funny? Again, going back to that too. TikTok, I know every now and then TikTok does have an echo. So it's either my voice is bouncing off of the tabletop either my voice is bouncing off the tabletop and then it's hitting the microphone, which happens sometimes. I hear that sometimes, or it's just TikTok straight up. But I got to go back into this, dog. All right, cool. I don't hear an echo. Carl, it's you. It's you. But yeah, man, like it's crazy. It is crazy, bro. It's insane, dog. Like it's insane. When you look at social media right now, everybody wants community. That's all it is, bro. Oh, my views are not up. I think there definitely, it might be an echo for real. Okay. The blue mic cleared up the audio a lot. Okay, cool. Yeah, you know, it's a little Yeti. It's a little Yeti. You know, a little Yeti, little Yeti. But yeah, the everybody wants community, but nobody's willing to do the work to do the community because community can't happen on social media. It doesn't happen in the spotlight of TikTok. It doesn't happen in the spotlight of Instagram. It doesn't happen in the spotlight of none of these apps, bro. And so as long as they keep us chasing views and chasing reach and engagement, they keep us on the treadmill and not in the communities building. That is my legit overview of it. As long as you're chasing views and engagement, you're not chasing community. Hello. As long as you're chasing, because think about it, dog, 100 views will have somebody crashing out on I-275. Easy. Let 100 people come knock on your doorbell in a day. Y'all gonna be freaking out. Ah, what's going on? Oh my God. Yeah. Like 100 people sounds impotent, but 100 people is crazy. I tell you, I brought 700 people to my wedding. You're gonna be like, that boy got money. I tell you that my reel got 700 views. You're gonna be like, oh well, you know, you're not a big time creator or nothing like that. Yeah, because as long as you're chasing views, I'm gonna keep on saying it, bro. As long as people are addicted to chasing views, checking views, chasing engagement, checking engagement, all of that kind of stuff, we will never be able to build community, because on social media, you can find community, but you cannot build or establish or maintain community, which is why I say these Discord channels, these Patreons, all of these digital third spaces, whether it's digital, where it's in person, like, nigga, if you're not there, you're not in a community. Like, and again, I'm saying that from the standpoint of like, we are asking corporations who have also sold out to the government, right? They've also sold out to the government. So like Meta it's a corporation, but like you might even have some stocks and some shares of Meta. But like Meta, how often do you see Zuck in front of like Congress? Like, come on now, let's not play naive, right? Why would they give us what we want? What are we even going to do with what we want when we get it, right? Again, all I want from Instagram, y'all can tell me in the chat what y'all like. What is your ideal wish list for features on Instagram? I'm very curious, because mine just starts with live. I just want better live. Bro. I'm not like, to me, that's my little tidbit of like, I ain't asking for too much. Chronological order on the feed, I don't care about that anymore. At this point, honestly, Instagram doesn't have to give me anything. Just don't give me no bullshit, which the map thing was BS. But just give me a better live experience. Make it so it's more interactive. Make it so it's easier. Make it so that when you turn the phone, the live will follow. Make it so that you can actually see the comments when you're live. Make it so that people who are watching live can see previous comments, things like that. You know, just very, very, very simple things, right? I don't need much from Instagram because I know that it's just a tool. And now I'm talking in circles, and I don't mean to do that, but I want to see what y'all think and what y'all wish list of features on social media would be. I actually also would like to see who shares my content. And maybe I can see that now with the repost. Maybe. They also took away the date on posts, which is crazy. That is insane. So I'll be going on people's posts. I'm like, I don't know when this person posted this. I don't even know if this is an active person. You look at the comments and it says stuff like 276 weeks ago. Then I gotta ask, like, I gotta do the math to figure out how long. Like, oh, this person hasn't posted in 4 years. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, that's dope. That's really cool. But yeah, man, like the whole Instagram thing, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny a little bit, like just a little funny, but not like a haha funny. Just funny enough to be like, all right, bro, y'all damn near almost doxed every single user you have. And I love how all the people who are defending Instagram's decision on that are like white men who like never have to worry about their safety, never have to worry about, I got a cruel joke about that, but white men never have to worry about their safety until there's a Luigi around. But yeah, they never have to worry about their safety. They never have to really ponder. They don't ever look over their shoulder to say like, what was that noise? Right? They don't have to do that. They don't have stalkers. I mean, I don't know, but like they don't have ICE chasing them, right? Very different experience for a lot of people. And I think that shit was overall just irresponsible. So yeah, what's y'all feedback on that? Does anybody even like it? Has anybody even used it? I tried to warn some people. Some lady that I follow still has her map feature on, showing her whole crib in Atlanta. And I'm like, I tagged you and I told you that your location's on, bro. Like, it's just crazy. And all of the people who are auditing and kind of like, basically, oh, well, y'all are sharing your location with other tools and other apps. Also kind of got me looking at Strava a little differently too. I try my best to limit how much of the map is shown when I'm going out for a run. And it's crazy because it's like some of these things are just like just the world we live in, dog. Like the fact that I have to think about this, right? The fact that I can go out on a run and then I gotta be like, damn, bro. Nah, that's too much, man. Like people can see where I'm running at. Like, which is why, yeah, but I don't really want it. I'm trying not to say too much because it becomes suggestive. But like being on Strava, and for those that don't know, Strava is a running app, running and cycling and walking app. It's the app that everybody uses for like running and run clubs and exercise. And when you go on a run in your neighborhood, your followers, they can't see where you start and where you finish, but they can see the route. I've had, and I also don't know why Strava would add DMs like that shit. Again, y'all, these are signs that like this shit is not for community, right? I'm gonna keep on spitting that out. But Strava added DMs, and they were all when a girl sees a guy running, she can shoot her shot, bro. You mean a stalker, nigga? What are you talking about? And I know somebody. I'm not gonna say his name because we rock heavy, but he told me about someone who was watching his routes, bro. Like, if Instagram has done anything right, or if Instagram did anything that's gonna be a positive for a lot of people, I think it is gonna make a lot of us really consider location data completely different. Which brings me to another point of mine when I was this is also a little bit of a story time, but when I first started working in tech, I worked for a company called Here Technologies. Y'all can look them up. Here Technologies. Here Technologies used to be known as Navtech. Navtech was also known as Nokia, right? Nokia was kind of the other name. And Navtech was the first company to put GPS in a car, right? The BMWs back in the day, when you had the phone that sat in the middle of the car, you could pick it up. Like, it used GPS. 1985 was the first time GPS was ever introduced to a car. And then over time, you know, it started to grow. Then you had other competitors join the market. You had TomTom, right? You had MapQuest. Everybody jokes about MapQuest and printing it out, but like, think about it for a second. Before Google was really the powerhouse of location and mapping, like MapQuest, TomTom, Garmin, what's the other one? TomTom, MapQuest, Garmin. Those were like the heavy hitters in location data. Like, and I was a business development rep for this company, Here Technologies. How Here Technologies expanded from Navtech to Here was interesting because obviously Google joined the picture, and then Google would send out they were sending out cars. First, they were using satellites, and then they were using cars so that they could do street view. And what the hell? Sorry. Yeah. So they started sending out cars to do street view. The cars were using what's called LiDAR, right? So LiDAR is like, boom, you send out a laser beam, and the laser beam is measuring the distance between the car and your front door. So not only are we getting like the imaging, but we also have the measurements. Navtech was like, that's crazy. We are working with Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi. All three of those car companies came together, was like, we're going to buy this company, and the three of our companies are going to use these cars to basically build the maps, right? And by the time all of our consumer vehicles drive around the whole world, we will have more of the world mapped out than Google, which is insane, right? Boom. Not only did they do that, but then they also said, since our cars are driving around gathering this information, we're going to store it in the cloud, and we're going to send it so that every car company in the world who has GPS is basically going to be using our data. That is why, and I don't talk a lot about my career in tech, right? But I be on this shit, right? That's why when you're driving down the road, if you look at your odometer, your dashboard, whatever, it'll show you the speed limit, and it'll show you where you're at in compared to the speed limit. Sometimes it'll faintly blink. Sometimes that's if you have like a high-tech GPS. If you have like a fucking navigation system, like that's old school, because you got to get a new chip. You got to insert it into the chip. It has to download to the car. That's old. That's also why when you're driving and you're using Google Maps, it'll show you what the speed limit is and where you are in relation to that. So if you're over the speed limit, it'll blink and say you're going too fast. All of that technology came from this battle for mapping out the world in a 3D space, right? Now, Google introduced their maps for advertising purposes. That's the only reason why Google made it, right? Google literally mapped the whole world so that they can say, this is the brand new billboard. So when you're driving down the street, like I said earlier, if I'm driving in Dallas and I'm looking for coffee, it's going to show me all of the coffee shops that match all of the previous coffee shops that I've been to. It kind of makes sense. It kind of adds up in a really good way where there's a benefit to it. The same thing with the cars, right? You buy a car, it has GPS. You buy a car, it has Apple CarPlay. Granted, that's Apple, but the map is usually still from either Google or it's from Here Technologies. So there's a bunch of use cases for it. But after a while, the location game started getting really crazy, where the use cases started getting crazier. If you ever notice that when you go to the airport or you go to the mall, that your cell service doesn't work, The reason why your cell service doesn't work in either the mall or the airport is for advertising purposes. Literally for advertising purposes. When you join that Wi-Fi, this is not conspiracy theory, this is real life use cases. When you join the Wi-Fi, your phone is going to start pinging different Wi-Fi spots, and it will do what's called Wi-Fi triangulation. Wi-Fi triangulation basically means that wherever you walk in the mall, they don't have your location. Like, they don't have your physical location, but they know where you're going based off of what Wi-Fi point you're hitting. Just like your cell phone knows where you are based off of what tower you're hitting. And so the idea with that was that if you go to the Champ store, then you go to Foot Locker, and then you go to Foot Action, they can be like, hey, this person's shopping for sneakers. We should send them sneaker deals, and we should show them sneaker ads wherever they go in the mall. If you go to Sephora, and then you go to Ulta, and then you go to Victoria's Secret, it's easy to deduce that you might be a woman looking for makeup, clothes. They're going to start sending you. And then the use cases started getting crazier, where they started talking about possibly doing these, like, the directory board, the ad boards in the mall, where it would change based off of who was looking at it. And this is where all this stuff starts to get a little creepy. But they were talking about possibly changing that so that it changed based off of who was looking at it. So if I'm the person who went from Foot Action to the sneaker stores, when I walk by, I would see a sneaker ad. And when the person who went to Ulta, Sephora, and Victoria's Secret walked by, they would see lingerie, makeup, perfume, women's ads. Then they started talking about doing this in the airports, right? Talking about, like, yo, like, can we change the ad so that, like, it's personalized to the person? Then the questions became like, well, how much personally identifiable information will we be taking from people if we start doing this? And it became this whole conversation that was starting to borderline kind of cross into, like, yo, that's, that might be a little too much information. But all of this comes from location data. All of it, bro. There's a reason why when you go on Google Map, when you go to a mall or airport, you can zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, and then it'll break down the building floor by floor. Oh yeah, why not? Right? If you want to check to see if Brandon Mall has an H&M, you should absolutely be able to check that. It's a huge feature for consumers, but there's a cost to that, which is when you walk in the mall, they know where you at. They know what stores you go to. Oh yeah. Why not? Right? Oh, we'll send you, join the Wi-Fi at the airport. It's free. We'll send you a coupon at the mall. It's free Wi-Fi. What, 10%? And don't get me wrong, like, at this point, like, what do? You're in the mall, you ain't got no service. You're gonna join the Wi-Fi, bro. I'm not gonna front like I don't join the Wi-Fi. I'm not saying that, like, it's not one of those things. I think there's a good enough benefit to it where you can say, like, yeah, bro, let's, all right, cool. I'm not gonna be in the mall without service. Like, bro, that's just gonna burn my battery. It's gonna be a problem. But again, there's enough of a benefit to it where it makes sense. What was Instagram's benefit? What was Instagram's benefit for this Maps feature? To connect with friends? Bro, I posted 7 times last week and 12% of my friends saw it. Y'all are not doing shit for me to stay connected to my friends. Y'all are not doing stuff to create and find a community. Y'all haven't done that in at least 9 years, maybe. When people were creating pods, I don't know if y'all remember pods. People were creating pods on Instagram so that they could, like, hey, you posted, let's go all, like, bomb your post with, like, likes and comments and shares and da-da-da-da. Like, oh my God, like, it'll help us all, like, grow. When people did that, y'all did everything in your power to diminish the ability for those pods to be sustainable. So again, I ask you, where are you going with this? Where are you going with this? So yeah, it's crazy time, baby. It's crazy, crazy time. Like location, this has reopened my eyes to remind me that like, nah, we kind of got to take that back, yo. We kind of got to take the location shit back. Like location data is literally, y'all, location data is as valuable as gold. And if you don't believe me, number one, look it up, do your Googles. If you don't know how to look it up, use ChatGPT. If you don't know how to use ChatGPT, use Gemini. If you don't know how to use Gemini, use Claude. If you don't know how to use Claude, yeah, use Notebook LM. If you don't know how to use Notebook LM, I mean, you know, I say it all the time, bro. We live in one of the dumbest times of human history because we have all these resources. But like, location data is as valuable as gold. So I would highly recommend you consider how your phone is using location intelligence and location data. You can go. I'm actually gonna put this in the this link in the chat because I'm gonna do it myself. myaccount.google.com. I highly recommend that you go to myaccount.google.com. You might not even be an Android user. You might be like, iOS is the way to go. Okay, Pazelle. Go to myaccount.google.com and just check out, just see how much of your information that you've never cleaned up is like stored away in there. Just like take a gander at what that looks like, you know, because if I was sitting next to you, I would pull up your Chrome. I would pull up your Chrome browsing history, even though you click it and you clear browsing history and you hit of all time. That's cap. I would pull up your timeline, right? Your timeline on all of the places you've been to, all of the places you searched in Google Maps. You probably just like, oh, it's not storing that. That's cap. I would also pull up your entire YouTube search history, the long line of all the stuff that you've ever watched, searched, checked up on YouTube. You probably didn't think that was being stored. That's cap. And then I would also, lastly, pull up what your profile looks like. Your profile looks like in Google. So not your Gmail, right? Not your Gmail account, not your Gmail name. Your name is in there and everything like that. But like there's a whole section in there about your personalized ads. The personalized ads that you see and why you see them, right? You didn't think they were storing that on your account. That's cap, right? So you would have all of that in there. And I would highly recommend that maybe twice a year, you just go in there and just clear all that shit up. Just delete all of it. Delete all of it. Like delete the devices, delete the history, the timeline, browser history. You can always find that video on YouTube again, right? Just delete that as well. I highly recommend it because you will start to learn that like there's no, unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, there's really not a lot of innocence on social media. Like we're way past that. Like everything is a business. And one of the best decisions that I made last year, which I'm still trying to figure out if you can even still do it, because I don't think you can do it, right? This had a lot to do with the TikTok thing. And I think at this point, They might take this video down because I'm like saying so much. Sorry. But when you look at who Oracle is and that name is crazy. But when you look at who Oracle is, right? Oracle, cloud computing, and overall storage of large sums of information, right? You're talking about Oracle recently has a share, like they're part owners of TikTok. So what you buy in TikTok is stored to some capacity in Oracle. Your profile information is stored to some capacity in Oracle. And profile, they don't need, in the advertising world, they don't need to know your name, right? They just need to know enough about you, your demographics, your profile type, like male. I don't even think they know male. I don't even think they know gender. It's just like user such and such and such and such. And then they just have all of your interests. You like hot sauce. You like running shades. You like chicken wings. You like bowling on Thursday nights. You like whatever it is that you like. They get all of that compiled and it sits in Oracle. And when companies want to buy that information, or when companies want to use that information to some extent to like grow something or run a campaign or figure it out for research purposes, advertising, whatever, they just pay a certain fee to Oracle and then it becomes part of their research profile. Like, what can we find out about Black women? They go, they sit down, they type a whole like infographic. I don't know what, I don't really know what form. It doesn't take a certain form. It's just the information becomes available to them. Bam, they know a lot about Black women. And it's used across all platforms, all forms of advertising. There's a reason why when you're watching Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, that those ads seem really catered to you. There's a reason why they stopped allowing password sharing. I can't sell an ad to somebody if, your mom is at home on your Netflix account and she lives in Miami. Your brother is on your Netflix account. He lives over here. You have your Netflix account over here. We don't know which one of y'all is the actual user. So we don't really know whose browsing history to really use. So we're going to cut all that off. We just know that the main house is that main house. Everything else got to get cut off. That's why Netflix got rid of password sharing. So now in my household, those ads are very, very streamlined to just me. And that's why last year I opted out of Oracle. Again, I don't know if you can still do it. I don't know if it's one of those things where once you opt out of it, like you can't find the link anymore, so you can't share it. I don't know. I think they stopped the program altogether. But as of last year, up until September, you could send a request to Oracle to delete all your shit. And I did that. So I haven't seen personalized ads anywhere. The only place that I would see personalized ads is on social media. So Instagram, yes. TikTok, yes, because that is based off of my actual user profile and what I do in the app. The CTV stuff, like the Netflix, Hulu, all that stuff, no, that is different. That is, we already knew about you before you even turn on the TV. And we know about you from your browsing history and your overall Google database, which is why I'm saying go in that Google thing, myaccount.google, and just delete all your information and turn off personalized ads. It'll help. It's not going to from the Google standpoint, it's not going to stop it altogether, but at least on Google, you won't see personalized ads. But everything else, I'm telling you, I have not seen a personalized ad anywhere. When I watch Hulu and Netflix, it'd be random ads. It look like regular TV. On other people's account, it'd be like, yeah, I'm looking for an insurance policy right now. And then you'll look on it. Progressive. Like, damn. You know how everybody be like, oh, damn, the phones be listening to us. They do. They do. They most certainly do. They most certainly do. If you want to find out how much your phone is listening to you, I want you to do this. I want you to go to your settings in Instagram, and I want you to click. I don't know how it works on iOS, so whatever. But on Android, I want you to click that every time Instagram is going to access your microphone, that it has to ask you. If you can do that on iOS, cool. If you can't, I'm sorry. Get a better phone, right? But go on and just check it out, right? Check it out real quick and see how often that app is going to ask to tap your microphone. And the irony of it, when I did it, was that I discovered that every time you refresh your homepage on Instagram, it turns on your microphone. I'm gonna let Mango out real quick. Get on my goddamn nerves. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. And try it out. Like I'm not on some conspiracy theory shit. This is not conspiracy. I'm not gonna clip pieces of this video and then do the doom, 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 doom. I'm not gonna do that sound, that little TikTok creepy. I'm watching Skinwalker videos sound. I'm not gonna do that sound. This is not conspiracy theory. This is literally business. This is literally business. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Or the little cat sound. Wow, wow, wow. I'm not gonna add that, bro. Like, this is business. This is literally the way of the world. Advertising it's not 101, but this is how the world is advertising right now. My ads are random for the most part because I'm random. I click everything. It do be like that. It do. There's a really good possibility that some of us just are random, and so you see a bunch of stuff. Like, you see, for me, every time I click something on Instagram, I feel like the person on the other side of Instagram is like, he clicked something, he clicked, send him running shades. He said he clicked on running shades. He's a runner, he's a track star, right? It's just like, it's so instant, like how, like, as soon as I click something, everything just shifts to like, all right, sell him something, try. We don't know anything about him, right? But on Google, I don't even know. I have YouTube Premium, so I don't even see ads on that, which I love. On Spotify, the ads make no sense. You know, it's like random Factor. Order food today on Factor. Like, it's just random stuff, just every time, bro. And I like it. It feels very peaceful. I feel like I just buy stuff that I want to buy versus like being pushed stuff in mass because someone thinks that I'm interested in it. You know, in sales and marketing, you have like the awareness phase, the consideration phase. I'm not gonna go into that, but yeah, life is good. So go into the thing, myaccount.google.com, and delete it and tell me what y'all think. Like, listen, every week that I come on this live, I'm going to tell you something that you truly don't need. And it's just a convenience that is messing up your life and making your life harder, right? You don't need curated YouTube videos. You don't need that. Like, I don't need my whole YouTube curated to match a bunch of stuff that I've previously watched. I am subscribed to people, bruh. Show me their content. I don't need Instagram to show me a curated feed of all of this stuff that they think that I like. I am following 3,200 people. Why am I just now finding all of the people that I followed in 2020, suddenly I've been seeing all of these random people on my Instagram. Oh snap! Is that somebody just sent me something? A galaxy or something? I feel like Hub's life. Oh my god, thank you. I'm finding people that I started following in 2022 that I'm just now seeing. I'm like, who is this? Oh, damn, I followed him in 2022. I've never seen this. I don't know who this is. Unfollow. Oh, I must have met them at like Afropunk or something like that. I don't know who this person is. I don't need a curated list. Show me the 3,200 people I'm following. Lie to me and tell me they haven't posted recently. Lie to me and tell me they haven't posted a story. They haven't posted a reel. They haven't posted a note at the top. Lie to me. Lie to me. Maybe now with the repost feature, maybe I'll see what they're reposting and what they're looking at. Because some people be on Instagram and they just looking at stuff. I feel that. But don't lie to me and tell me that, like, bro, man, sorry, dog. We only got 116 people for you to look at today. That's cap. And then everything else is suggested. Nah, man, I don't need that. Delete everything from your YouTube. Delete the history. Delete all that. All right, maybe not the history. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes you got to go back. Oh, just like it on YouTube or add it to a playlist. It'll live there forever. But we don't need all this curated shit. We don't. Curated based off of your interests. You don't know me. You don't know me. I don't have a football team. I don't. I just like the Patriots. But then I realized I fuck with Tom Brady. And I don't fuck with Tom Brady. Somebody stopped playing football after a while. You realize, like, it's not like we friends, bro. You were just good, and I needed to talk shit on Sundays. Like, Tom Brady, I don't think I would need to be friends with Tom Brady. Like, I'm not gonna be a Dolphins fan. That's not good for your health. Look at every Dolphins fan they're not in good health. They're not in good spirits. Look at every Jacksonville fan. They're not in good spirits. They're very sickly people, right? Like, being a fan of a sport, all right, cool. Like, you gonna send me every jersey every Sunday on an ad? I don't need that, bro. I don't need curated anything. Let me like what I like. One day I may want to watch rerun episodes of Crocodile Hunter. Another day I might want to watch Dragon Ball GT. Another day I might want to, I don't know, watch David Attenborough nature shows. Another day I might want to watch an episode of Insecure. Like, stop trying to figure me out. You can't sell nothing to me. Like, I bought one camera and now everything on my TikTok is cameras. I bought the camera already. Okay. Like, I don't need any more curated anything. So yeah. Wow. It's a lot. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It is crazy. What are y'all talking in TikTok? Y'all let me know what y'all think though. Like, am I wilding? I'm not wilding. I don't think I'm wilding. But again, this is not conspiracy theory. This is just straight up like where we are at with the whole advertising thing and everything like that. Appreciate the likes, Kanisha. I got to check out one of your lives too, by the way. I did see you live one day when I was on the meeting. But yeah, yo, we got the Discord channel. And I hate to always sound like I'm promoting it or like I'm positioning a whole argument just to end with promotion. But here's the thing, right? When you go to a church, they preach and then they be like, damn, you down bad, ain't you? You need a church home? So I'm gonna kind of take that model as well. That was probably not a good example, but we got we have the Discord. I have a Discord, and I don't know. I can't emphasize enough that, like, even for myself and what I've realized, I was thinking about this today and I was thinking about even changing this up. I was thinking about changing up this whole live stream to be like about the fact that, like, a lot of us, including myself, a lot of us are angry. What do you talk about on your Discord? I see you talk about it sometimes on. So we talk creativity, creative. A lot of people are based in Tampa. Sometimes we talk different topics, but we definitely cover movies. There's something in there for movies. It's called Uncasual Moviegoers. Curating on Wednesdays and in music as well. That's something that you can pop off in there as well. We talk about creative. I'm very big on like you can share your content in there. You can get feedback from people. You can talk about your business. You can essentially be yourself and just kind of be a key player. A lot of conversations swirl in there from things people see online that they want to actually like connect and talk to people about. And then we also do voice chats. There's people who game, DJ Brightlight games. I game every now and then. You know, I play City Skylines. I play college football. I don't play online with people because y'all niggas are just too dedicated to this shit. To me, it's like playing a puzzle. It's like playing a puzzle. I just kind of want to. I just kind of want to take my edge, take a little edge off real quick. That's it to me. That's all it is to me. Things be getting real serious. But yeah, we're just in there talking music, talking movies. We do live movie watches and things like that. So it goes across a number of different topics and things like that. But we're also starting to get more on the ground with it. So, talking about like edit and chill socials. And last week we went bowling. So just a lot of like actual interactions to really meet people. And I know people don't, listen, I get it, right? You're in your 30s, you're in your late 20s, meeting people is difficult, right? But when you do it in a community, it's a little easier. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have met a person a little bit online in a digital space and you see, okay, that dude, that Just Cuz 305 dude, he a little bit of asshole. I don't know who the fuck he think he talking to and stuff like that. And you meet him in real life and you realize he ain't that bad. You know what I mean? Like he all right. I gotta get ready for my clapbacks, whatever. You just set a boundary. And I'm not dismissing it, but just saying like, you can get to know people in that space and then choose whether or not you want to interact with them or not. And then it changes in person. But next week we have Edit and Chill out in Temple Terrace at Insomnia ISG. So it'll just basically be like us kicking it, just live in person, getting a chance to just sit down and talk in real life. I go there to edit a lot. That's kind of like one of my little hangout spots. I've also done events there too. So just going there, having access to, hookah, tea, coffee, kratom, kava, whatever, and just vibing. I spoke with them last night. They were like, dude, we're down. Like, we like that kind of stuff. People do it all the time. So just trying to move away again from like this always online thing, right? This always online, always consuming and always being forced to create as like a exchange, right? Some of us are starved. I mentioned this earlier. Some of us are starved of community and starved of like real life engagement. But social media basically tells us that the only way you will get it, like the only way you'll get that is if you post today. Do you want it? You better get to posting. And it's like, damn, can you just wake up and just be like, what's up, y'all? And people be like, hey, how's it going? What's up? What's new? How you doing? Oh, okay, that's what's up. Like, if we can't get that, if you can't get that, bro, that's what are we doing? Edit and Chill is gonna be on next Thursday, 8:15. Come through, bring some crochet. Do you think? I've never seen that in person. I'm actually gonna be shooting when I get there. Because I want to do this thing, this concept, and I started doing it and then I reeled it back just a little bit just to figure out what the true workflow is gonna be. But I think it'd be cool to just do like ride-alongs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think this might go even with like Aisha's idea too, which is like riding along with somebody and just kind of creating content with them in real time. I don't want to do that because it's a lot. But I think that like instead of me following a person, like the camera's essentially following me. Like every time I leave my house and I have my camera, technically my camera's following me, right? And just being able to capture like people in spaces and places in real time and just being like, yup, that was that day, you know? The good old like, hey man, whatever you do, keep that motherfucker rolling. Like just and just letting it just organically be. No edits, no nothing. Just like, bro, we pulling up to the spot. It's called Insomnia. We in there, we doing edit and chill, and it's just popping, and this is what it is. And then we just chop it at the end and just make it work. So, and I drive around a lot. I commute a lot. I for someone who works from home, I commute a lot. Yeah, IRL content. But obviously it wouldn't be like streamed. I think sometimes streaming IRL for me is just, I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't figured it out yet. I enjoy it, but I haven't figured it out yet. I think the adult in me is too much like, oh my God, people don't want to be recorded right now. Or that's usually not the case. What was I going to say? Yeah, I commute a lot for someone who works from home. And sometimes, man, like the in-between content is sometimes the dopest part of my day. Like being in the car, being in the whip, and just like, damn, this gonna sound crazy, but sometimes being in the car and like joking around and talking to myself on camera is sometimes like my best content. That's how I come up with this stuff. Like I don't know. Like I've been talking for what, an hour and 38 minutes. That's crazy, right? After a day of 5 meetings, I've been talking all day. That's part of the reason why I'm struggling with this live stream thing, because I get to a point of the day where I'm just like, I don't want to talk right now, nigga. I'm done. Oh my God. Right. I get to a point like that. And so, you know, I think a lot of people don't realize that like a lot of this stuff, I can just script it very quickly. Like I can script it and say like, all right, let me not say script it because I'm not scripted, but I can outline it. I can outline the ideas very quickly of like this live stream. I ain't gonna hold y'all. The only thing that I knew I was going to talk about was what was in the description for the YouTube, which was, let me see what it says. Alex Auguste is live for VividLife TV. Current state of things, Instagram's latest updates, and aggressive end of consumer first thinking. That's all I had, bro. That's all I had. Like that was the outline. I didn't even have this outline. I just knew that I was eating peanut butter jelly sandwiches downstairs. And I was like, damn, bro. What am I talking about on the stream? But I was gonna say something too, and this goes back to this because this is what I almost streamed about today, which is I feel like a lot of us don't want to admit it, but a lot of us are angry right now. This is gonna be crazy. Just hear me out. All right. You go to this concept again of who asked for that. And I'm really big on like in the English language and the English way we speak, like we don't ever say what we truly mean. And when I feel like when people say like nobody asked for that or who asked for that, it's kind of like a kid throwing a tantrum saying, give me what I want. Right. And so ask yourself for a second, right? Ironheart came out on Disney Plus last month, and they tried to review bomb it real quick. They tried to review bomb it. They said they hated it because she wasn't this, she's a criminal. Like just again, like weird comic book bro stuff where it's just like, you know, that's a fictional character, right? Like you acting like Riri Williams is running for president. And even if she was, your current president got 34 felonies. Okay, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, All right. So yeah. All right. So Riri Williams is not running for president, but like essentially, all of these comic book bros are pissed off that like the comic books they want to be made into movies, the theories they want to be true don't happen. And so when they wait, they're like, "Oh no, I wanted uh some other show and I got Echo. Nobody asked for this." What are you really saying? Give me what I want, right? You look at features on Instagram, people are like, "Who asked for this?" What you're really saying is, "Give me what I want." We all want $600 rent back. Who asked for $2,000 rent? What are we saying? Give me what I want. And you're not getting what you want. Nobody is getting what they want right now. So why wouldn't you be angry? You're like I think a lot of people are angry right now. And they don't even know it's the craziest anger, because a lot of people I don't think even know that they're angry. People are angry at dating. People are angry at the economy. People are angry at social media. People are angry at their social media reach. People are angry about not getting opportunities. People are angry about career, and all it keeps shaping out to be expressed in the form of nobody asked for that. Isn't that crazy? And so, like, if you can, if you will, if you feeling up to it, like just check in with yourself, like once a day. Just check in with yourself on like physically, how do I feel, right? And you might, I was doing this earlier and I was thinking about it. I was like, people just be angry. And I was like, shit, like, am I talking about people? Am I talking about myself right now? I'm like, And I was just thinking about it as I'm eating my peanut butter jelly sandwich. I'm, chewing harder than the motherfucker. And I'm like, outside of the fact that I'm really chewing really hard on the sandwich, right? Because I overloaded it with peanut butter. I'm like, yeah, I kind of got a little tension in my chest and my shoulders as well. Like I could feel tension, and that's not the gym. That's not me being sore from the gym. That's like me actually like having a physical reaction that I didn't know I was having to something that I felt today. Like something that I interacted with today had me like angry, and I knew what it was. I boiled it down to just, if I can just straight up tell y'all what it was just like, hey man, how the fuck you gonna gaslight me and tell me that the motherfucking map was off when I opened my shit and I can clearly look and see that my goddamn location was fucking on? Are you crazy? Like that's what I really felt. But I was on Threads and I responded to this one guy, and I'm like, the Android OS experience is much different from the iOS experience, and maybe that's something that should be considered. Like, that was the response I gave him instead of the response I just gave him. Which, that's not to say I'm an angry person or anything like that, but it's just like internally, like I'm looking at the whole play out of this situation. I'm like, damn, an Instagram feature had me mad? That's crazy. Am I tripping? And I'm like, no, wait, I'm not tripping. I think everybody's angry. Like everybody is angry. What do we do about that? I don't know, because I just figured that out like 2 hours ago, right? So y'all gotta give me grace. I'm gonna give everybody else grace. But like everybody is angry. And if you look, every time you see that, I want to plant this in your mind that every time you see somebody say nobody asked for that, feel that statement, feel that comment, and just like lean into it real quick and really be like, what are they talking about right now? When has a corporation ever given you what you wanted? My camera not focusing correctly. When has a corporation ever given you what you wanted? Let's think about that. When has a corporation ever given you what you wanted? Because you wanted another season of Orange is the New Black and they canceled it. That's crazy. You wanted Pussy to survive and they killed her. That's crazy. You wanted Liv and Fitz to figure it out and they canceled Scandal. You wanted Shonda Rhimes to be with Disney ABC for a very long time, and they cut her contract. That's crazy. What? Like you wanted all of these things to happen. Oh, what you're angry about, and what all of us are angry about is we don't feel like we're in control. That's what it really boils down. Forget all of the, oh, you're not giving me what you want. Nobody feels like they're in control. And the truth is, nobody's in control. Am I tripping? Like nobody's in control. The only thing that you control right now is I was gonna say your money, but you don't even really control that, right? Because you got to go to work. The dollar don't pay, the dollar don't get you as much as it used to. Prices is going up on everything. Like, oh, like, no. And people say, control what you can control. Post every day. Your community will find you. Oh, okay, put that. All right. Yeah. Until the reach ain't there and the views ain't there. Damn, that's crazy. Now you really itching and scratching. And you sitting there like, I did everything they told me they could do. I did everything they told me what to do, and it's not working. And who does that sound like if you're a millennial? Right? They told me to do this, and they told me to do this, and they told me to do this, and they told me it'll work, and it's not working. Like no one feels in control right now. No one. And social media is the one thing where people can feel like celebrities, which I think is another reason why social media is kind of on a decline, because a lot of people treat it like celebrity and treat it like platform, which is whatever. To each their own. I've done it before. I do it every now and then. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas, whatever. But I think that you just don't feel in control of the outcome. And I saw a quote today that I do believe this quote, which was, you only control the output, not the outcome. I do believe that. I strongly believe that, actually. But I think we are doing the wrong output. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, create every day. But don't create every day because the app said so or that the platform said so. Create every day because, nigga, you're a creator. Like, you're doing what creators do. God created for 7 days, took a break, and then got back at it. Like, what do you? That's what creators do. They create every day. And even if they don't create every day, they're still a creator nonetheless. Don't get me wrong. But like, you're not creating because the platform told you to. You're creating because that's your purpose, your drive, your motivation. And we will find out if it ain't. You will find out if it ain't. You will put down a camera so fast that this is not your passion. Not passion. Let's find another word. Motivation. Motivation will only last at least 18 months. After 18 months, it's going to fade. Then it's passion. After a year, passion going to turn into, all right, y'all boys. Shit. I was a phase. So, yeah, but I think a lot of people are angry. And until you admit that you're angry, I don't know. I don't even know what happens. Nobody asked for this, but you buy Madden every year. You buy Madden every year. Nobody asked for this. Madden 27 in your pocket. Nobody asked for this. You buy yet another iPhone. Nobody asked for this. You still subscribe to Disney Plus. Nobody asked for this. You still voted for Trump. Nobody asked for it. Like, bruh, at what point? At what point? At what point? Come on. At what point, bro? Come on, bro. At what point? Change something. Like I said, you change the output. I got tired of iOS 7, nigga, and I got off iPhone. I ain't turned back. Haven't had an iPhone since 2015. 2014. iPhone 5 was my last iPhone. You know how many times I had to reset my phone because I was jailbreaking it? Why am I jailbreaking this phone? Why am I messing up this phone? I could just go get an Android and I can customize the whole phone. What am I doing? What? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and damn, nobody asked for that. It's 2023. Y'all talking about damn, we finally got widgets. That's crazy. That's insanity. That's why you angry. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. Y'all are watching. Y'all, I rock with y'all. Y'all been chilling. Y'all been kicking it. But yeah, man. I'm definitely preaching right now because I don't know. I'm gonna always go back to community, community, community. Like I said, 2 years ago, I wanted to leave Tampa on the basis that there is no sense of community here. I decided to change my mind. I decided to change my effort. I decided to seek community. I found community. I'm a lot to deal with. I'm a different type of personality. But when I'm in something, if I'm giving feedback, and I feel like a lot of people don't really understand that about me, is like if I'm giving feedback, it's because I care, right? And as a contributor and a recipient, my feedback is expected in a form of a loop where I'm giving because I want to see you do it because I care about you doing it. Once that's out of the window, like, oh, okay, well, oh, y'all gonna shun me? Like, all right, cool. And I go back to this idea, especially at this day and age. I was talking to a friend of mine who's out in St. Pete. He actually just joined my Discord last night. We were talking. The way we met was very interesting. Just small talking in the line at the Improv, and then coming to find out that like we know some of the same people. Like there's some crossover. His mission, his purpose, what he's doing crosses over into what I'm doing. He saw my videos. He's like, dude, this is your work. You do this? Like, this is empowering. And so one day I was telling him, I was like, yo, at 35, you're young enough to dream and old enough to do something about it. And to me, that's like the thing that I kind of like take away sometimes is like, yeah, building a community it's a lot of work. People are gonna be like, oh my God, how many people do you have in your Discord? And you're gonna be like, there was once upon a time when there was only 4 of us in there, like every day, just chilling, talking, kicking it, whatever. 4 of us every single day. How many people are in Discord? That's 4 of us. Okay. How many people in your Discord? That's 12 of us. How many people in your Discord? It's 62 of us now. Like, it's growing, but we in there. Like, I don't have time to be afraid of doing something that grows slow if it's growing right. I don't know. That's how I think about it. And everyone wants community. Everyone keeps saying they want community. At what point is your output going to be seeking community and contributing to that? So again, I don't mean to make that sound like the whole church home spiel that the pastor gonna do. I don't mean it for it to sound like that. but for real, like it's to me, it maybe it is the same. Like at what point is the word gonna hit you and you're gonna do something about it? And at what point is your frustration going to activate you to taking action versus just sitting there and wallowing in frustration? Because we could run a pod, add your post in the Discord and be like, hey, can y'all go like this real quick and see how many people go like it? Probably like right now for me, more people than who's actually liking my shit organically, because my views are down, baby. Like I don't even care anymore. I just like, here you go. Here you go, Instagram. Here you go. Because I feel like every time I post, there's just a dude who just slides it across his desk. And then they just give me my little 12 to 13 likes. I can't even stress that. That shit is there. And like somebody said on TikTok, if you don't like how much reach your post has gotten, delete it and post it again. If you big and bad, you bought followers, so you might as well do something, right? And just try something. So, but yeah, man, I'm about to I think this is good. 2 hours. decent amount of content. I'm still on my 75 hard. I'm supposed to be going live every day. But as y'all can imagine, that should be hard. And I'm supposed to run a mile every day, do as many burpees as I can, and do 200 jump jacks. It's 9:09. I got to run a mile, do as many burpees as I can, do 200 jump rope. So I got to go. I did my live. I've been going live literally at like 11:57 every night, trying to hurry up and hit my little goal. Slide it in there before the day ends. But I think this was good. This is a nice little 2 hours, 7 to 9. It's 9:09, so we're over time. Well, no, I started at 9:15. So, but yeah, y'all. Join Discord. Edit and chill next week. And there's just a lot coming, man. There's a lot coming. This like July was crazy. July was crazy busy. August is, I want to do August right. So there's gonna be some cool stuff coming. Check out my Patreon as well. Oh, it's a whole lot of stuff. I don't feel like ending this with promotion. I've been talking for 2 hours, which means I've been talking for 12 hours today. I've been talking for 12 hours. Right? I would love to just like end this off like one of those like, oh yeah, tune in and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications and all that kind of stuff. But